Okay, so here are the two wiring harnesses. This is the original. You can see the model number here, or the Mopar number, 04868122AB. And here's a new one. Doesn't really have any number that seems to jive with that. It's what they sent out was a Dorman part, which is 747-311. I wanted to show everyone that these parts don't match, and when I did put the new one in my car, in the van, the Town and Country, it would not start at all. So that was a little frustrating. You wouldn't think putting just a harness for a power door would make any difference, but I kind of figured out the reason why, and I'm going to try to do a fix. So if you look at these connectors really closely, you can see that there's extra slots here on the original one versus the new one, and they're even pinned out differently on the back side here. Okay, so they definitely are not the same part. So so if you look at this web page here, you can see that part number I read off. Says here at the bottom, this product fits 165 vehicle variants, Chrysler between 2001 and 2007. So my van's a 2002, and it definitely does not fit necessarily. So some of these parts out there, even though the connector plugs in the slot, they're not wired the same. Okay, so this is the wiring harness for the door. This is where I ordered it from, this eBay site, Auto Parts Direct to You, and you can see down here they list a bunch of years compatible with 66 vehicles. Now, to their credit, none of them go as early as 2002. However, they go as early as 2004. So I think that's correct. However, down here in their description down here, they say that it replaces the original equipment part 4868122AB. And so you can see clearly that those part numbers match, but the connector is definitely not the same between the original and the new one that got shipped out to me. Since so my plan is, since the connector for the door actually matches, and those are pinned out the same, except for the wire coloring's a little different. So my plan is to cut off the one connector and replace it, leaving the door connector in place. So basically I made a little mapping here to help me when I'm soldering so I don't forget. But I took the old connector, labeled out all the different wire colorings, the new connector from the door side, mapped out all those, and here I have my cross reference. So and these colors probably won't match what you have. You know, they might make these parts in different factories and stuff, but anyway, this is my plan. So I'm gonna cross reference this when I go to solder on the new ends here. So I'm basically gonna cut off my original end here that goes in the door post, that plugs in the door post, and reuse the whole new wiring harness, cutting off this one and resoldering on the old one, since the number of wires match and I figured out the mapping. I'm going to trim the insulation back a little ways off the original part here. Because this is the one we need to keep. Give myself plenty of room to solder that on. Okay, this should be plenty. Cut off the new connector. Get rid of that. So now we're gonna attach the old connector to the new wires. And of course, got my reference sheet here, so first thing I'm gonna do is strip these all. Alright, now we can try to line up our... So, black and red on the old one, it's the old one. Black and red goes to the thick white one. Okay, give myself enough room here. I don't want to waste, I don't want these running out of film time. Okay. Well, I had a little trouble with the shrink wrap. I should have used larger on this one and this one. I'm going to do it up with some electrical tape here just to provide the insulation. Alright, so now all that's left is to try it out, I guess, on the vehicle. Alright, so now I'm going to take this replacement piece that I put the old end on to the new wiring harness and attach it. I put it back together so we could use the van in the meantime, but anyway, it's really easy to get in there. Only take a minute or two, but basically just pop this off right here. I take back this weather stripping. This will pop forward, and you can see down in here where one end will go. So I'll put that in now. Slide the connector in, slide the little red connector in. Okay. The weather stripping back down. I'm going to run this first, basically. I do need to get this a new cable tie in here, so let me do that real quick. Pop out the old one. Or just pop it down in there. That'll work just as good. later. Now what we need is a Phillips. Take this off. Just a little cover plate, but the wire channels through that. You can see where the gear that drives the whole mechanism is. First I'm going to, this is where it needs to go, above here. Okay, so retouch that in that door. Run this through here, like so. Here, now here's this, make sure this is out. In and out. So pop it out, make sure it's in the out position. We're going to need to slide it on that little post right here. And hold it in that way. Okay. Okay. Down here. I left my snips elsewhere. I'm just going to take a little knife and take off the edge of this. There we go. Let's put the weather stripping back on. There's a natural break here. Insert that here, work my way back, okay. And the last piece, this trim strip. There's these little clips here, so they'll just kind of pop right in. Alright, let's check and see if the door slides shut on its own. Alright. I'll be right back after I hook up the battery. Alright, I'm back. The battery's hooked back up. Let's test this out. Alright, automatic button works again. Let's try the key. Alright, the key fob seems to work. So yeah, I think that had to do with, it seemed like in the winter it got worse. It was intermittent, and I think it's just because the wires pulled apart slightly. I couldn't really find where the break was just visually, but I decided, you know, to get the new harness just to give me a little more time instead of another wire breaking. And I read a lot of people online would keep patching it every 6 months, and I really didn't want to do that. So anyway, there we go. Hopefully this helps you guys. Thanks for watching.